Thank you so much for coming tonight to our testimony extravaganza. I really wanted to come up with a cool name like Testimony Tuesday, but Tuesdays didn't work for me, so I went with Wednesday and couldn't think of anything awesome to go with Wednesday. So I chose extravaganza. Anyway, we're very, very happy you guys have come. We have some really exciting and awesome stories to share with all of you. As mentioned, there won't be any product talk tonight. Like, we're not going to explain the products. If you have any questions about the products that you hear about or anything, go to the person that invited you tonight, and they'll be happy to answer any questions you have. My son is really upset right now. So I'm going to start the evening with reading the disclaimer, as we have to. So the opportunity of a lifetime is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. At Plexus Worldwide, we want you to know that the results you are about to hear may vary from person to person, and we do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any disease. Okay, so to begin this evening, we have what I like to call a Plexus power couple, Peter and Brianna, and they will share their story of how Plexus has helped them.
Didn't we do rock, paper, scissors as who goes first?
You go ahead.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Anyways, for us, we were having some issues. One big challenge in my life is working about a year and a half ago is sometimes I'd wake up in the morning and my little boy and the children would be asleep, and I'd like to see them, but I wouldn't dare go see them in case they woke up, and then they would start the whole day. And then also sometimes later at night I'd come back and they actually were in bed already. So I was missing out on things. I was finding that difficult. I was also looking at a possible career change because I was having discomfort in my arms. Sometimes every waking moment, my arms would be uncomfortable. So that was a bit of a challenge for me. Our marriage also, we were having some being thoroughly stretched, and we were looking at some specialized counselors and specialized doctors to try to balance and figure things out. And finally, in desperation, we checked with Wes and Sherry because they've been telling about this pink stuff called Plexus, and it couldn't have been as good as they said it was. But we asked them, well, do you think this could possibly help us some? And they said, well, you can try it. It's helped a lot of other people. So we decided to take it. We're very grateful for that. And we made the choice to actually try something to change things. And what I realized for me personally is there were changes. And I realized in my own life that I was getting more and more angry with things, and that was much to our dog's dismay. But I realized I wasn't in control of my emotions. Like, if you get upset, you should be in control, but when you lose control, that's scary. And I was starting to do that, and I wanted that to change. And recently I realized if I get upset or angry, there's a huge difference. Just my body balancing. I also noticed a huge difference when I started taking the products going to work. Instead of needing caffeine to exist until lunchtime, I could actually make it. And then my arms, after a short while, my arms, the throbbing would disappear. Yes. That's Elizabeth. She was wanting to get the broom. But anyways, for myself, with my arms, the discomfort was getting better. And also, if I really irritated it, it would take way shorter time to recover. And so it allowed me the difference of, we were thinking that I was falling apart. I needed to look for another career. Now I can keep going, but I'm really excited about this opportunity to help and change. So that's my my story. I'm excited about the business opportunity because that's an opportunity for me to help people out too.
Well, I'm Brianna. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I look after my 4 little people all day long. And there was a point in our life where my behavior was becoming reactive. I wasn't responding well to life situations and getting angry an awful lot. Peter never knew what my attitude was going to be like when he got home. He was dreading coming home, and you don't want that in your marriage. And we were concerned about that. I also had developed a rash on my wrist, and it was so bad that there was nights I wasn't sleeping because it was so itchy. And we did the doctor's prescription, and this rash kept growing. So I knew I needed to do something, and research told me that a probiotic would help. So I started taking one from a health food store, and there was no difference. And I'd looked into the probiotic with Plexus, and I knew it was different. And eventually we tried that, both for my reactive behavior and for the rash. And within a month, Peter was saying that my behavior was easier to deal with, and I could tell that I could stop getting angry, and I could make a decision. Hey, wrong train of thought. Let's get off. Change subject. And that was exciting because I've never been able to do that. And my rash went away. It wasn't fast, but it actually went away instead of getting bigger and bigger. And I also have dealt with needing a lot of fiber in my diet and eating prunes and always struggling with that. And thankfully, I'm not dealing with the bloating and overdosing on fiber anymore. Things work smoothly. And that was huge. As for the business, I'm a stay-at-home mom who gets to stay at home and have their own business and do it all off their phone and still have time for their kids. Like, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So I would like to introduce Celine. She's going to share her testimony.
Hey everyone, my name is Celine. I'm from Lloydminster, Alberta, and I'm a Silver Ambassador with Plexus. I'm a wife and a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids, and we love the Plexus products. I first heard of Plexus from my sister Carol, who's our host tonight. At first I didn't pay much attention, but at that time I was suffering with being exhausted all the time, living for my next nap and when bedtime was. Always looking forward to that. I didn't enjoy my children as much as I should have, as I was so tired. So basically that was my main reason for wanting to try out Plexus. So back in March, I decided to give it a go and joined up under wholesale with no intention of selling it at all. But since then, I've started to enjoy more energy than I ever thought was possible. I'm still surprised at how great I feel in the afternoons. I don't crave sugar anymore, and I don't stuff myself while eating. I only need to eat smaller portions through my meals, which has been great. Another thing that my family has found interesting is that our skin has been a lot less itchy and dry and scaly this winter, so it's definitely helped out a lot with that. And plus I find out I'm sleeping a lot better since taking Plexus. Another real big thing for me, just like Brianne said, is I've noticed my hormones are a lot more balanced. I'm less angry and irritable, especially during that certain time of month. So that's been a big thing for me as well. A big thing for my daughter is that she would get these head-pounding episodes, if you know what I mean, that would pretty much wreck her day, and she would have to escape to a dark room and hoping that it will pass, or hoping that she'll just throw up to get rid of those episodes. And this would especially be worse in September when school started because of stress. But ever since starting on triplex in the summer, she has not had any of these episodes. So this is really big for her and for our family, as it affected us a lot. Another great thing that I love about Plexus is their business plan. It's so simple to do. You could start earning commission almost right away with your own products when you join under wholesale, because that's pretty much after 3 months, I would say, I was getting my product paid for, and I loved that part. And now after 10 months, my whole family's product is being paid for, and it's helped us out so much. So with that, I'm going to pass this off to Christy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christy, and I'm from Lloydminster, Alberta, and I'm a mother of 3 kids, and I'm a wife, and my upline is Celine, the person who just started or just spoke. And I guess I'm going to start off with a little bit of conversation that shouldn't be mentioned at the dinner table, but I have really shy bowels. And I didn't really know what a probiotic was until probably a couple years ago. And when I found out what it was, I just kind of went to the drugstore and said, I need a probiotic. Give me what you got. And I just didn't find that it helped at all. So I just kind of threw it to the back of the pantry and just never gave it a thought again. And then when I seen Celine posting all this stuff and all the benefits that it had and realizing that it was a probiotic, I thought, okay, I need to give this a try. So pretty much within the first week, I noticed a difference. And I'm telling you, I was going probably 2 or 3 times a week. And I know that that is horrible. And I let my shy bowels control my life. I had social isolation. I didn't want to go places because I always felt like I just always needed to be in the bathroom and nothing was happening. I was irritable with my family because of it, because I had this constant bloating and pressure, and it controlled my life. So now I feel much better. I'm able to go out and have a good time and not have that thought in the back of my head, oh, when am I going to be able to go to the washroom? I'm so uncomfortable. And another thing that I've struggled with for a few years is really itchy, dry skin on the back of my head, where the doctors prescribed me cortisone cream, which I applied liberally, like every day, twice a day, and it just would not come under control. And every winter, it just got worse and worse. And then this winter, the flare-ups are so reduced and the itching is pretty much gone. The large patches are all gone. So that has been a huge relief for me, because I was constantly scratching. And another positive thing is that my husband was very skeptical of all this. He was the one that did the research and was like, this can't be right. And he, a couple weeks ago, thought, you know what, I'm going to try this. I see the benefits that you're seeing, and you're happier, and I'm happier for you. So he's given it a try, and he's been on it for a week. And I'm really encouraged by Peter and Brianne's testimony, because my husband is in the construction and electrical field as well. And he at night can't sleep, and he's got achy joints, and that's a big issue for him. So I'm really excited to see if that is going to help him. And he's already said that he feels like he's sleeping better at night within the first week. So I'm very excited for that. And something that I really love about Plexus and the business is the support from your uplines and other ambassadors. That is something that's kept me going, and that is very encouraging. So thanks, and I'm going to pass it off to Melody.
Thanks, Christy. That was really good. I enjoyed that. So I'm Melody, and I'm from small town Saskatchewan. And I guess my journey started years ago when I was a little kid, and my mom had to put me on tons of antibiotics for sore throats, earaches, you name it. I was on lots of them. And then as I grew up, that developed into lots of itchy skin rashes as a kid, and we'd treat it with steroid creams, and it would go away. We'd suppress it. It would work for a while. And then as a teenager, it started coming out in my face with lots of blemishes. And then the scary thing happened when I was around 15, and I started losing a lot of hair. It was just like not coming out in chunks, but it was like really shedding badly and getting noticeably thin. and I was afraid that I was going to go bald. And as a teenage girl, that's like very, very scary. So my mom, she took me to various naturopathic doctors, and I was on special diets. She spent tons of money on supplements, and I think we got some results. Like I think we were able to slow it down, but I had just always had thin hair ever since then, and always dealing with skin issues and very, very tired. Like I have a lot more energy now than I did when I was a teenager. So yeah, that was kind of my lifestyle, just living a fairly natural, healthy lifestyle and just not getting all the results that I wanted. And so it was about just under a year and a half ago that I started the Plexus products, and I've had really great results with them, but it's also really taken a financial burden off us, because by the second month, I think we've been able to have my products covered. And for my family as well, we've been able to get products into my family, and we've seen really good results with the kids. And some mood issues we've had with them, and stomach issues we've had with them, digestive issues. We've tried probiotics from naturopath, all different kinds of probiotics, and we have never seen the results that we've gotten with ProBio 5. It's just been really good. And on an opportunity level too, I just love how I feel like I can share these products with people and know that I'm sharing awesome products that they need. I'm not a salesperson, but with this, I feel like I can share it with all my heart and know that if for some reason they're not happy, they can get a full refund back. So it's just kind of a win-win situation. And I also it's the perfect time in Canada. Like everybody needs these, but nobody knows about them. And the compensation plan is amazing. So I'm just excited to see where this is going to take our family health-wise and business-wise. So yeah, that's my story. And I'm going to move you on to Gloria Seabrook.
Thank you, Melody. I have to me, it's an interesting story. We've always been very health conscious in our house ever since our kids were little. I had a lot of really major issues, especially with my bowel, and ever since I was a child, and it really manifested itself bad after Timothy was born, to the place where actually I didn't even know if I was going to live. So we've really worked hard at getting our health, especially my health, going and just monitoring it and stuff. And so when the Plexus came along, we were doing a lot of healthy stuff already. We garden, we have our own cow, we juice and all this kind of stuff. And so when Sherry suggested to us to try it, we kind of thought, well, I don't know if it's going to do a lot for us because we're really healthy already. But she talked us into getting Dad on it, because he has a lot of the same kind of issues that Sherry had. You know, he'd fall asleep at the table, and he had a lot of trouble getting up. If you sat down a little bit, he'd just get so relaxed he couldn't get up, just no energy. And he hated to go to bed at night because he didn't like getting up in the morning. He was just so much work. And I don't think I really understood how bad it was for him. But anyways, we put him on the Plexus, and for a while he didn't notice any difference, but I could notice he wasn't falling asleep at the table so much anymore. I don't think he noticed he did as often as he did. But I thought, well, it seemed to be working a bit for him. I was a little concerned about it for me, if it would be a little bit too hard on my system, especially because my guts weren't all that good. And so I started with the cream and the ease capsules, just because I was having some trouble with my hands, kind of bad circulation and stuff. And that went really well. My hands were starting to feel really good. So I got some courage and started with Slim. And I noticed with that didn't take 2 weeks, and I could notice I was sleeping a lot better. I had usually had to eat in the middle of the night. I'd eat every couple hours during the day, and in the night I seemed to need to do that too. And so my sleep was really disturbed. But once I started taking the Slim, I didn't wake up anymore to have to eat. And so when I woke up, I was actually awake, and I noticed a little while later that the little container of nuts that used to have on the corner of the cupboard, so if anybody got hungry and they need to eat, that was gone, because we just didn't need to put it out anymore. And our bedtime snack ended. And the funny thing is, we didn't try to end it, it just ended because we didn't need it anymore. And we've noticed just a real increase in our energy. And probably after my husband was on it for about 5 or 6 months, one day he noticed that some skin problems that he'd had cleared up. He hadn't noticed them going or anything, but all of a sudden it was gone, and it was stuff that he'd had going on ever since he was a kid. So he was pretty excited then because he actually had something to say, well, this is actually working. And so we've been on the product now for just about 2 years actually, and we really enjoy it. We can tell our energy level has increased to the point where we actually started working on our house this last year and getting stuff done. And we can tell, we work hard, but we're able to just rejuvenate just with one good night's sleep. It doesn't take us a whole month to get over something anymore. We're just really thankful for the energy. And I would like to turn it over to Edith.
Yeah, I'm Edith, and I'm from Grimshaw, Alberta. Before Plexus, I had trouble falling asleep at night, which I didn't realize was that big of a problem. I lay there listening to my husband snore for many hours, and I've taken Plexus, the Triplex, and X Factor for 4 months now, and I just realized, like, it went away gradually. I just realized a couple of days ago that, hey, I fall asleep as fast as he does. And also, I always had fatigue in the afternoon, like after lunch, and I felt like I had to take a nap. I had no trouble falling asleep at all, and now I have energy all through the day. I have no excuse to go to take a nap whatsoever, and so I am very thankful for that. And that is, I had those things despite eating very healthy and growing up very crunchy. So I'm very thankful for what Plexus has done health-wise, and I'm very much looking forward to what it will do business-wise. And with that, I'd like to pass it on to Hatisha.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, the light's a little dark. Yeah, so my name's Hatisha, and I started Plexus about a year ago. And before Plexus, I was noticing that my low blood sugar was chronically getting worse, and I was having to nap every day and dreaming of napping in the day. I just felt like I had to nap. I would look forward to 2:30, 3 o'clock when I could just go lay down, because I would always get that low right around that time. And so I was tired. I had, that was low blood sugar issues for probably 15 years. And then I had, it affected my hormones, which then my cycles were completely irregular, like beyond irregular. I would miss months. I would have a cycle last 2 weeks. It was really crazy. So that, those two things were my biggest issues. And then my other issues were just cravings. I craved sugar and carbs a lot. I wanted to eat them all the time, and chocolate and all of those sort of things. So as soon as I kind of was going on Plexus in my first month, I did not have that low blood sugar anymore. I didn't have to nap as much, if at all. Like, I don't even have to nap now. I nap because I want to, or if I have a severe night of sleep, lack of sleep, then I'll nap. But so that was really nice. I have all day energy, and bathroom visits are regular and no issues there anymore, which is so great. And my cycles have been the most regular they've ever been this last year. So that has been amazing. Totally mild and nothing major going on. So it's been awesome. I also was really cold all the time. I feel really cold fingers, cold feet. I was always feeling cold, and my body's actually felt warm, which has been really nice because I'm not having to always bundle up like I used to. So I must have better circulation is what I'm figuring. Yeah, so as far as everything else goes, my brain fog, all that irritability from my blood sugar is all like gone. And I would say my blood sugar is like 95% better. So that is huge. Yeah, and then one thing I really like about the business opportunity, sorry, I have a bit of background noise, is the fact that for me, I've never paid full price for my products. So first month, I had my products paid for, and then after that, I was helping and sharing people get well, and I was noticing, wow, we haven't had to pay full price for our products in the beginning, and now we have our products paid for, and I'm able to provide dance lessons for my girls. So that was kind of exciting, and that's kind of just my journey health-wise and then business-wise, and it just kind of gets better and better every month. So it's really fun giving people hope, because it's beyond amazing. So yeah, I'm going to pass it on to Sherry and Wes.
I love hearing your story, Letitia, and Mom, and well, you guys all said your name and all of your names. You guys did really good. So my mom was Gloria Seabrook. She's the one that shared a couple minutes ago. And so you heard that I was raised eating very healthy, and I'm very thankful for that. I feel like that's given me a very good foundation to work from. But at the same time, I feel like I'm a testimony that eating healthy from the beginning of your life doesn't actually, isn't all that you need. So 3 years ago, Wes and I, we heard about Plexus from a good friend of mine, Eva Schmidt. And at that time, Wes was really, really badly struggling with his health. And I wasn't thinking about myself because I grew up eating healthy and I considered myself healthy and I didn't need anything. And so I was just looking for help for Wes. And Eva had shared stories of how other people had been helped with similar issues like he had. And so, am I choppy?
A little bit.
A little bit? Because I have quite the lag on the videos here. Is it okay for me to carry on, or should we try to?
No, you're okay to carry on. Your sound is good, just the video has to catch up a little bit.
Okay, good. Where was I? So Eva was sharing stories, and I remember reading this one story, and it reminded me of Wes, of what Wes was dealing with, and I just thought I need to call Eva and find out more about this. And so I had my phone conversation with Eva, and we dove right in right away. We didn't just dive in at that moment just for health stuff. I also talked to Eva about the business, and I've always kind of had an entrepreneur side of me, and both Wes and I were looking for more income than what we were making from the ranch life that we're having, which we picked on purpose because we wanted a nice family lifestyle that the ranch life gives, but we needed more income than that. So I haven't paid for my product since the first month, and Wes will tell you his health story, what it's done for him. For me, I started taking the product as well, right along with Wes, because I did have some baby weight. I thought, well, we'll just test this product out and see what it can do for me. I'm all healthy. I don't need anything, though. So I took it, and right away I was like, hey, I'm actually going to the bathroom like Wes keeps on telling me I need to be. Because Wes, I grew up eating healthy, but Wes was the one that made sure I took my pills and stuff that I was supposed to do. He's way better at that kind of stuff. I kind of neglect that in the things if I don't have someone behind me. So right away, I noticed that, hey, I'm not dealing with this anymore. And the other thing is Wes quit telling me I needed to take my supplements because I was actually noticing a difference from the supplements I was taking. I wasn't just taking supplements because Wes was reminding me to. I was taking it because if I didn't, it made a big difference to my next day. And I grew to like the feel of having a clean gut. I never knew before what it feels like to have a clean gut. And then 4 months after I started, I lost all my baby weight. So it was like about 20 pounds, which I'm a small person. That's actually a fair amount of weight. And I got pregnant after I lost all that pregnancy weight. And that's when I fell in love with the products, because I tended to always have low blood sugar when I was a kid. And I didn't notice that in my later teen years until I got pregnant. And then all of a sudden I would just crash, and I would be so tired, sleeping all the time. I could sleep 12 hours at night and at least 4 hours in the afternoon with my first baby. And I always wondered, how am I going to look after another baby if I'm sleeping so much? Anyway, so all of those issues that I had, I go to the washroom like I'm supposed to do. I don't nap anymore. I've been taking the products for 3 years, and I often have to stop and remember how blessed I am to be able to actually, I can accomplish a lot of stuff because I'm not spending my life sleeping. And I don't have these up and downs in my moods anymore like I was starting to have once I started having kids. and I was so shocked by them because I'd never had that kind of thing before. So I just have this very stableness in my life that I am so thankful for, and that wasn't there before Plexus. Those first 2 babies that I had, my first years of marriage, when I was having babies, I was losing that and having it less and less and less. And then I've kind of got used to being healthy, and now what's really exciting me is that Wes is home now. So it's been 3 years, and Wes has been home from work since May of last year. And that was a huge goal of mine when I first started was, well, since I was married to Wes, I wanted to work with him and do things with him. And the more kids I had, the less that was happening. And I was kind of sort of giving up on the idea of being able to work and spend time with him. And when I realized that I actually could spend time with him now, that really drove me a lot to work hard. And I just feel like we still have more goals to reach. But I've come to a place that if anyone else was at the stage I am now, they would feel very blessed financially. And I know what kind of effort and work I put into it. And I feel like I didn't do anything that anyone else couldn't do. And I was very busy. It wasn't like I had nothing on my life to do. So it's a real opportunity for everyone. And I really do believe that. I've experienced that. So I'll just let Wes fill in what you like about Plexus. What's it done for you?
Well, I think Sherry said at the beginning there that we kind of started because I had some health issues. I'd been bitten by a small little insect just before we were married. And about 2 years later was having quite severe symptoms from that insect bite. And I was having phantom pain. Pain would come, pain would go. I was having a lot of bloated feeling, brain fog, lots of exhaustion. Anyway, we started on the product, and within a week, I noticed a big difference in my gut. The bloating had gone down, and over time, the brain fog left. About 6 months in, taking the product, I noticed a lot of energy increase. Going to town for us at that time was once every 2 weeks, and it'd be a full day in town. And I'd end up feeling a lot of claustrophobia and just kind of panic to get out of town. Too many people, too much going on. Well, 6 months in, I had energy to go visit people after town day, and I wasn't feeling claustrophobic in town or panicky or anything like that. So, within 6 months, there's a big improvement. Since then, a lot more energy. I had, by last fall, I had recovered a lot from that insect bite. And since then there's been uphills and downhills because there's still detox from certain things, but overall the health has been going up a lot. I guess the big part for us since May is we making enough from Plexus for me to pay our bills, and so I can come home. So now I can cowboy because I like to, not because I have to.
Thank you. So Terrell, do you want to share your story?
Absolutely. Guys, if the meeting suddenly ends, just put your ID number again and we'll pop back on because I can never keep it under 2 minutes. But you're hearing a lot tonight about energy. Everyone's saying the energy. And that's what snagged me with Plexus. I remember vividly on my couch, my eyes heavy. I couldn't even keep them open anymore. My kids were running around. It wasn't even noon, and I was done. I was exhausted. I found after having my 4th baby, something happened. Something switched. I couldn't keep up with my life anymore. And I was sitting on the couch thinking, I can't continue to live like this. This is no way to live. I'm not surviving even. I'm just waking up, waiting to go back to bed at night. That's all I wanted was my bed. And I hated it. I hated each day. It was so exhausting. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try this Plexus thing. So I ordered the Plexus wholesale because I wanted the cheapest option, and it was going to be my dirty little secret. No one was going to know I was ever going to try Plexus. I wasn't selling it. Wasn't telling anybody. It was going to be my secret, and I was going to be awesome, and no one would know. Well, it was awesome, and I had to tell everybody. Within day 3, personally for me, my energy skyrocketed. I was like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be again. I remember being able to function in the day and not be like crawling to bed all the time. Another huge thing for us was my husband, Cam. Every single day, I'm not even joking, every day he would come home from work. His head would be pounding and aching. His eyes, he'd be squinting and they would be bloodshot every day. I could tell he'd walk in and I'm like trying to keep the kids quiet because, they're daddy. And he just couldn't. So he'd go to the room, dark room, rest, trying to calm his head down so that he could go back outside to do some farm chores. And I hated it. It was ruining our marriage. I shouldn't say ruining our marriage, but it was tough. The kids didn't have a dad. I didn't have a partner. He was just always in constant pain, and I had enough of it. So I also had him try the triplex as well, and he immediately noticed the energy difference, that he could go to work and not buy an energy drink all the time, as we all know how healthy those are for you, right? So he could do his day with no energy drink. His pounding head severely decreased. He was coming home okay, not in pain. He'd have the odd episode, but nothing significant. Hop on. So my husband was having daily head episodes. The energy, it was just amazing. His head problems started decreasing. We were noticing he could function. He'd come home from work, he'd be okay. He could do his farm chores. Our energy was back up. I was happy with those. That was the only reason I wanted was on Plexus. I wanted more energy and I wanted help with him. We were done, right? Like Plexus was the answer. Well, then more and more and more things started happening for us. Every winter, I'm not even kidding. Every winter, my hands, the skin on my hands would be cracked and dry and literally bleeding. They were so painful. I do a lot of work outside with my husband, and no cream, and I mean no cream, could help this. Everywhere we went, we would buy this cream that promised to do, something, anything, and never, ever, ever could I find something to help. The last, 2 winters since I've been on Plexus, I have had 0 cracked skin on my hands, 0 bleeding, 0 itchy, 0 dryness. My hands actually feel like I've put cream on, even though I have not. That was another okay, this is cool. I'm liking this. Those who know me really well would know I had an intense sugar craving. Intense. It was a problem. I would have easily 4 cans of pop per day, particularly Coke. That was my go-to drink. I loved it. I needed it. I craved it. I had to have it. And I was cranky without it. And I wasn't expecting Plexus to help with that, but suddenly days were going by and I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't drinking it. And I was so happy to finally kick that unhealthy, disgusting habit. I knew it was only setting me on a path to diabetes. I knew it was not setting a good, healthy example to any of my children. And I tried to quit numerous times, but that sugar craving had such a hold. And with Plexus, it was so easy to stop. For over a year, we have been a pop-free house. I have not bought any Coke. Those sales? 3 cases for $9.99. Oh my goodness, I would load my cart up back then. Now I can easily walk by and it doesn't even faze me. So that was huge, huge for me that I could kick that sugar craving with ease. Another thing that, kind of like what Gloria said, you'll notice things change that you're like, oh, when was the last time I had this? I used to have severe discomfort in my rotator cuffs in my shoulders at night. I would wake up just Ugh, I couldn't sleep anymore. The aches and it was horrible. I'd lay on this side. Nope, that one would ache. I would lay on this side. Nope, that one would ache. I try to sleep on my back. I am not a back sleeper. It ain't happening. It was horrible. I was not sleeping well because of it. And I found the Slim and the probiotic really took away that discomfort and that sharp ache in my shoulders every night. And I was sleeping wonderfully, which was a huge surprise, and I'm so grateful for that. As many other ladies have said, I found my hormones and my emotions stabilized. I was a lot more patient. My husband particularly noticed that he said to me one day, he was standing in the kitchen, and you could see a little bit of fear and trepidation in his eyes, and he's like, so how do you like that Slim? I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'm happy. How are you? Do you like it? He's like, yeah. Yeah, and I could see, he had something to say, and I was like, what do you think? He's like, well, don't get mad at me. I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he's seriously looking like for an escape route at this point, right? And he's like, well, you've been a lot calmer. Kind of at this point, he's like, do I run? Fight or flight, right? And I was like, oh, I think you're right. I feel calmer. I feel more patient with my kids. I don't fly off the handle with them so quickly. So it's really helped to level me out. Let me be more patient with my kids, especially when they're having a bad day, or I handle the chaos so much smoother than before. And finally, I did put my kids on it as well. I have 4. I have one little boy who's a very, very active little guy. He struggles. He's never been diagnosed with anything, but he does. He struggles to communicate his feelings and frustrations and his anger. So he goes from 0 to 60 and like nothing flat. And you're like, what just happened? I found he could communicate with me. He would actually come up to me and say, Mommy, I feel angry. Oh, okay, let's deal with this before it gets into rage mode here. He just leveled out. I think kind of like us ladies, his hormones balanced, his gut was balanced, and he could just be a little boy and not this angry little thing that it was so hard to parent him. So that has been a huge, huge blessing. Overall, since we started these products, my family has been healthy. I'm not even joking. There's no puking in this house. Everyone's Facebook status, oh, the flu hit us. Oh, I'm so sick. Oh, my kids. Healthy, 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 healthy. We have not been sick. Maybe the odd sniffle. That's it. I'll take a sniffle over puking kids any day. Our gut balance is so awesome. We love these products. They're so phenomenal. They have changed our lives. And as a lot of mentioned, business side, I have 4 kids, so we have 6 people in this house, and I knew if I was products that I needed them paid for, we couldn't just dish out every month for them. So I said, fine, it won't be my dirty little secret. I'll actually, start sharing. And like many, within month 1 or 2, my products were paid for my entire family. That's a huge order. And now, as we keep going, we see the potential, we see the opportunity, and it's actually attainable. It's simple. It's doable for anyone. If I were to label myself, I'm a goat farmer. There's nothing special about being a goat farmer. We're special kind of crazy. But I can do it. And if a goat farmer can do this and get their product paid for, anyone can. So that's our evening. Everyone has shared tonight their testimony. Please, if you have any questions about anything you heard, what are people taking? What are they talking about? What's a Slim drink? What's in your probiotic? Ask the person that invited you tonight. We love talking about it. This has literally changed our lives. It has changed our health for us and our entire family. We can't help but love it. We want to talk to you. So go back to them. Ask your questions. They want to answer them. Thank you for coming. We hope you'll join us next time. I think we're going to try to make this a regular thing. It's so much fun sharing our stories and hearing what Plexus has done for everyone, not just ourselves, because it's kind of tiring hearing our own story over and over again. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I'm going to open up to questions. I already went over. Take them to your friend, family member, neighbor, whoever told you to be here. Go to them. They're going to answer your questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming, and we will see you the next time.
Thank you.